All right, good evening, Jet fans, or should I say good Sunday night Jet fans. It's 11:22 Sunday night. I'm doing a video tonight because I'm not going to be able to do one tomorrow morning. So I'm trying to get my recap and some of my thoughts about today's game. And of course, go over review some of the other games and scores that were played today, week 5 in the NFL. Right now, I'm watching the Sunday night game. It's Indianapolis at Kansas City. There's 3:06 remaining. 3:06 remaining. Indianapolis 16, Kansas City 10. Pat Mahomes has been held at bay. He's been dinged up a little bit in this game as well. Right now, the Colts have the ball. Fourth down, they look like Vinatieri's going to try to put them up by 9. So I'll keep you posted on that. Of course, by the time you see this, this game may be over. Um, but week 5 started. There was some nice matchups. There was some um, just lopsided matchups. So first matchup we're going to talk about is Buffalo, Tennessee. Um, Josh Allen came back after being concussed in the game against the Patriots last week, and they beat Tennessee in Tennessee 14-7. Um, it wasn't a beautiful game, but it was a win, and Buffalo keeps pace with the Patriots, a game behind them since Patriots beat them last week. But Terry just hit the field goal. It's 19-10 Indianapolis with 2:27 left. So if Mahomes is going to be a magician, he's going to have to pull, something out right now. Um, at MetLife, the Giants hosted the Vikings. It was probably the first big test for Daniel Jones as a starter. They lost 28-10. He did have a touchdown early in the game. Daniel Jones had his touchdown pass, but the offense for Minnesota was just too much for the Giant defense. Um, so Daniel Jones and the Giants suffered their first loss of the Daniel Jones era. Battle of the winless. The Arizona Cardinals beat the Cincinnati Bengals 26-23. The Cardinals actually had a tie their first game, so still their first win. Cincinnati is 0-4. Washington got blown away 33-7 to the Patriots. They actually had a 7-0 lead in this game. They were down 9-7 early. Couldn't do anything, some turnovers. And the report is that head coach Jay Gruden may be released sometime this week. Atlanta Falcons got blown away in Houston 53-32. Deshaun Jackson is just a great quarterback. Atlanta, I think, is starting to get on their downside now. But there is reports that ownership said that coaches will not be touched. There's no thought of having them fired. Um, so let's see what else. Um, in London, Chicago lost to the Raiders. It was supposed to be a Raiders home game, 24-21. Khalil Mack, I was told, was held at bay a little bit. I heard that in post game. And give it up to Oakland. They flew across country to get to London, further than Chicago. Not much further, but further than Chicago. And they beat a Chicago team that has a great defense. So 24-21. All right. Reason why I do this video every week, the Jets coming off a bye go down to Philadelphia. And I spoke about this last week in my videos. They have only won once in the state of Pennsylvania. It was against the Steelers. They have never beaten Philadelphia Eagles. I never knew the stat, but it was the Eagles are 10-0 against the Jets. They're now 11-0. So let's start it off with 2 weeks ago, the Jets went on a bye after the New England game. At that point, I think the Jets needed to start looking for a veteran quarterback to fill the gap between when Sam Darnold comes back from mono. Mono could last from 4 weeks, I think, minimum, to actually it lasts 3 or 4 months, the lingering effects. So why this team did not bring in a legitimate backup quarterback is beyond me. In the offseason, you think, all right, Trevor Siemian, he can manage a game or so. God forbid anything happens to Sam in a game or whatever. Siemian didn't last the whole game when he came in to start against Cleveland. So now you're down to Luke Falk, who's your third-string quarterback. Okay? Luke Falk did not look good against the Patriots, but again, who does? Patriots, like I said, are now 5-0. So these 2 weeks, I think you bring in a quarterback to try them out. You at least bring in somebody who's been in behind the snap, who has pocket presence, who's led a team. That's not Luke Falk. Losing Josh McCown was big after he retired, and he went to Philly, ironically, today. And he did see some time in mock-up duty. But they didn't invest in a backup quarterback. They didn't invest in a kicker either in the offseason. They went through how many kickers? So they invest in a backup quarterback. Where is your faith in this team? Where's your faith in this regime right now? Mine is very low. But anyway, they go through the first week, and Gase gives them the week off. Okay, let's recharge our batteries. They come back, and headlines in the Daily News, the New York Post, anything on into Sam Darnold may be back to play against the Eagles. Wonderful. Depends on his spleen. A large spleen, very dangerous. You don't want to have an injury. It could be fatal. So Sam comes back. He's no longer contagious. He's doing some light workouts. Tuesday or Wednesday, they give him the ball, and he starts playing non-contact drills, throwing the ball all over the field. Adam Gase is like, okay, planning on he's going to start. The report that we got up to Friday was that Sam took most of the first team reps in practice. Friday, Sam was not cleared to play, and Luke Falk had to be the starter. What we found out today, report during the game, was Luke Falk did not take any first team reps in practice until they realized Sam wasn't going to be able to play. Preparation again. There was no plan B there. This coach did not have a plan B. If Sam Darnold went down in week 1, Travis Simeon was our plan B. Maybe he's a functional quarterback that could kind of, direct the offense for a game or two. What if Simeon goes down? They never got Simeon a reliable backup. Okay? Now you're down to Falk. And you know what? No, nothing against Luke Falk. That's why you're a third-string quarterback, because you can't start in this league right now. Maybe one day, but right now you're not a starter in this league. So the preparation for this game really boggles me. Offensive line is in shambles, and I have to say, thank God that Sam Darnold didn't play today, because Sam might have been really injured. And nothing against Luke Falk. Luke Falk took a beating. The Jets had 10 sacks against them today. Okay, this is from a team. The Philadelphia Eagles had 3 sacks on defense all season in the first 4 games. They now have 10 today. Okay, 8 of them came when they only rushed 4. So what did that tell you about our offensive line that Sam Gase kind of mixed up for us today? It means nothing. Okay, he didn't do anything. He didn't get this team prepared. The offense didn't convert a third down until late in the third quarter, maybe early in the third quarter. It was the second half that he converted a first down on third down. Falk threw 2 INTs that were brought back for touchdowns. One was on, I believe, the opening drive. They go for it on 4th down, and they throw past Le'Veon Bell, who's trying to do everything he could out there, and Falk just throws into coverage. The guy jumps the route, and he's down the sideline. And that again, where's the preparation? You can't give the ball to Bell every down. First down, hand off to Bell. Second down, hand off to Bell. Now it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6, and you have your young quarterback trying to run back and pass. How about some trickery? How about some gadget plays? Something to loosen it up. Something to get something going. That didn't happen till late in the game, but I'll get to that. Defense played okay. They held the offense of the Eagles to 17 points. But the defense also was playing on a short field. Philadelphia got some pretty good field position because the Jets couldn't move the ball. So every time they punted or whatnot, Eagles had good field position. So I don't blame the Jets defense that much. But I will point some fingers. Leonard Williams, where are you? This is your 3rd or 4th season in the league. And each year you're getting slower and slower. And or you're not in on a play. Tremaine Johnson huge contract. Brodo was supposed to solidify our backfield, and you know what? He's better off being benched because he did nothing today. He got beat on a few plays. Um, you know, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Jamal Adams was in on a few plays. He's all over the field. You can see the passion with him. Quinnen Williams came back after being injured. He was in on a sack on Carson Wentz, and Wentz actually ducked out of the way. So Williams was in on a few plays. I mean, again, this kid played the first game against Buffalo, got injured against Cleveland, didn't finish that game, didn't play last week, and now he's back this week. So he's played only two and a quarter games in his whole NFL career. So I'm giving him a pass right now. Hopefully he will develop. He was the number 4 pick for us this year and should be our future on the defensive line. But other than that, the team is not prepared. The team is not good on all facets of the ball. Here's just another thing that I bring up. The Jets are down 24-0. On 4th down, they decided they're going to kick a field goal, a 55-yard field goal. Now, you're talking about a team who hasn't had any luck with kickers since the preseason opened up, okay? So they're going to run in and they're going to try to put points on the board. Kudos for trying to put points on the board. But as they're doing this, the announcer doing the game, which is Rich Gannon, which I can't stand, says, that, and I forget who his partner was, that prior to the game starting in warm-ups, there was both teams had difficulty kicking into this end zone because of the wind. Very windy coming out of that end zone. And they couldn't hit it from inside 40 or close to 40. This is a 55-yarder. Well, there's no surprise to me that, first of all, they go to line up, and they line up incorrectly, and they have to blow a timeout. So now they blow a timeout. They go out there, and he misses the field goal, not even close. Okay? So, all right. You tried, whatever, it didn't work. Okay? My thing is, you punt, you're down 24-0, or go for it on 4th down. You give them a short field anyway. Why are you kicking a field goal? So you're down by 3 touchdowns? You haven't scored 3 touchdowns on offense all season. You've scored 1 up to this point. Okay? Then, late in the second half, or maybe I shouldn't say late in the second half, but in the second half, the Jets special teams finally comes alive. They pick up a punt, a muff punt. The Jets have a short field. I think they're inside the 20. And finally, they pull a play out where it's a reverse to Bell coming from the left to the right. And they pitch it to, I don't even know who number 17 is, but number 17 coming left to right. And then Bell reverses fields, blocks downfield, and they wind up scoring a touchdown. And that's the first offensive touchdown since Le'Veon Bell in game 1. Okay? So now, all right, so you're down 24-6. You're down by 18 points. Okay? Kick a field goal, you're down by 17 points. Our coach decides, he's going to go for 2. Why go for 2? You're not going to get back into this game. Okay, strategy tells you why go for 2 now. It's too early, I think. And you want to see what your kicker can do. He hasn't been able to kick because you haven't been able to score all season. So set him up and let him hit an extra point. It's not a chip shot anymore. No. So 24-6. The game ended 31-6. Could have been 54-0. But I won't take that away from the defense. Defense, they played with heart probably the first 3 quarters plus, and then they were just beat towards the end. Like I said, the Jets gave up 10 sacks. The last sack that Falk took concussed him. He's in protocol. We're waiting to hear. I didn't hear the post-game recap of what's wrong with Foles, but he may be concussed. This game has 32 seconds left, and Indianapolis is going to go to 3-2. Kansas City is going to go to 4-1. So the 49ers and the Patriots, the only undefeated teams. Patriots won today. 49ers play Cleveland tomorrow night in San Fran. I have to tell you, this is the Kansas City at home was an 11-point favorite over the Colts, and the Colts won. So that's what I'm talking about with this team. I'll be prepared. When the gear away and I'm watching the game at home or on TV someplace, I'm on Twitter all day during the game just to see what other Jet fans are saying. Um, First thing I want to address is number one, when somebody says, and I won't mention any names, but reporters, print reporters in New York are saying, "Oh, this is not fair to Le'Veon Bell. He deserves better. He should be traded." Let me bring this out. Let me point this out. Le'Veon Bell, I believe, has a $37 million contract. I don't know what's guaranteed. I know the details of his contract, but it's a big contract. He's not volunteering out of the goodness of his heart to play for the New York Jets. He's being paid. Okay? He's not complaining. He's been a team player in post-game pressers. He seems to be a team player in the field, in the huddle. I haven't heard any rumblings. So to say he deserves better, yes. But you know who deserves better? The fans. Okay? To say, oh, Jamal Adams, he wants to go somebody place else. I hope he doesn't leave. These players are paid to play. They're not volunteering. This is not the Peace Corps. Okay? This is not Pop Warner, and they're doing, Saturday morning. They are paid millions of dollars to play the game that they're trained to play. Now, yes, there are 32 teams. There's going to be one champion. So, yes, it does suck sometimes when you're not on a team that's winning. But to say it's not fair, I believe, is ludicrous. What's not fair is the fans, okay? And you can say the fans choose to follow a team. You're right. We choose to follow this sport. We choose to follow this team. But after so many years, it's not even about choice anymore. It's about a way of life. I've been following this team since 1983. Been going to the games. First game was in '83. I've been going regularly since '92 with my father, now with my daughters. There is, it's just a way of life. It's part of our family. Who are they playing this week? Are we home? Are we away? Are we going to the game? Or are we watching it on TV because they're away? I decorate my family room in the colors. It's a choice by me, yes. Okay? Buy the colors. They change the colors. They change the logo. You go and you get stuff. You keep up. You have old yearbooks you look through. It's just you follow this team. It's a part of your life. So you want them to be successful. You want them to win. Only one team can be successful every year. Okay? One team can be the champion. To say it's unfair, no. We pay to watch this team. Whether you're paying a cable bill, satellite bill, or whatever. We pay to go to the games. We pay for the colors. We pay for the memorabilia. We pay to meet the players sometimes. Everybody does something different. Okay? A website, a video every week. Because we love this team, because we follow this team, because it's a way of life. So it's not fair, yes, to the players to be on a team that's not successful because maybe they have some dinged up players or their coach is not using them to their potential. But they're still getting paid. They're still getting a check every week. Okay? Maybe you can say I can say it's not fair to me, but you know what? I choose to follow this team, so I'm not going to say it's not fair. What's not fair is that this team is not prepared. You come out there and this team is prepared and you're beaten, genuinely beaten, playing a chess match, head-to-head, you beat us. Like tonight with the Colts and the KC. That was a chess match back and forth. Indianapolis went in there with a plan and they beat them. We didn't go in there with a plan today. The plan today was Sam Darnold's going to play, but he didn't play. Okay? And then you put in, Luke Falk and poor Luke Falk. That's why you're a third-string quarterback. Okay? And then I'm reading something else on Twitter that says, Adam Gase should be fired. Adam Gase shouldn't be fired. First of all, and then somebody says, well, to fire him during the season or to fire a coach after 1 year, where's the stability? Let's talk about stability, okay? Like I said, I'm following this team from '83. I've been really taking care of this, following the stats and everything since like 90, 91, 92. Okay? Bruce Kozak got fired, and in came Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, who won Super Bowls with the 49ers as a defensive coach. Pete Carroll that's won championships at USC, national championships with USC. Pete Carroll that has won Super Bowls with Seattle, that's been in Super Bowls with Seattle, that's had Super Bowl, that's been relevant in Seattle for all these years. He was a coach for 1 year, okay? We had him with that infamous spike game when we were 6-5 and looking to go into first place, and ended up 6-10. And Mr. Hess, who was more of a fan than an owner, who kept the prices at a minimum, at most kept him at bay. Wanted to win now because he was getting older. So he got rid of Rich. He got rid of Pete Carroll brought in Rich Kotite. He knew Rich from the Jets early in the year in his career. He knew Rich was a New York guy. He knew Rich Kotite was somewhat successful at the Eagles. And Rich Kotite went 3-13, 1-15. Okay? Mr. Hess then, played the ultimate chess game. We got Bill Parcells here. Okay? Parcells lasted 3 years. I think one more year would have been our year, but, hindsight 2020. Al Groh lasted a year and he resigned. Herm Edwards came in. We made the playoffs, I think, 01, 02, and 04 with Edwards. He left in 05. After Chad Pennington got hurt, he really couldn't do much with this team. We had Mangini for 3 years. Mangini brought us to the playoffs with a wild card. I think it was 9-7 the first year. The second year, we ended up, I think, 6-10. And then the last year that he was with us, he was 9-3. We ended up 9-7 with Brett Favre, and Miami won the division, and they got rid of Mangini. Okay? Brought in Rex. Rex was here, I think, 5 seasons. Rex started in 09. He was let go in 14. So 09, 10, 11, 12, 13. He was here 6 seasons, actually. Okay? Rex had early success with a rookie as a rookie coach, and with Mark Sanchez, AFC Championship games back-to-back. First year, he beat Carson Palmer, and he beat Phillip Rivers on the road. Lost to Peyton Manning. That was leading Peyton Manning and the Colts in Indianapolis at the half, and then lost. Next year, added LT, added Santonio Holmes, added Jason Taylor. They go playoffs again. They beat Peyton Manning in Indianapolis on the road in the playoffs. They beat Tom Brady in New England on the road in the playoffs. They go and they play Ben Roethlisberger on the road in the playoffs. AFC Championship game. They lose by 5. They were once down 24-0. They lost 24-19. Okay? Those 2 years, those 2 runs gave Rex an extra 2 years. Rex probably would have been fired after 4 years. Okay, now I'm a huge Rex fan. Rex put us on the map, nationally, locally, okay? The problem with Rex was he never evolved as a head coach, and our quarterbacks never evolved with him under a head coach. We went through, I think, 3 or 4 offensive coordinators. We had Mark Sanchez. We had Tim Tebow. We drafted Geno Smith. It was just, at one point it was just like, what's going on? There's no stability. The only stable thing we had was Rex, but he never evolved. Okay? So to say you gotta keep a coach to be stable, no. If you work for a company or you owned a company and you had a worker who every week was not doing his job correctly or not prepared for work, and he wasn't working up to par up to his contract, you wouldn't keep signing him. You wouldn't keep him here. You'd get rid of him. Okay? Even if it was on an annual basis at his review, you'd get rid of him. So to say stability, no. You cut the weakest link. Okay? You do something. Now I don't think Adam Gase is going to be fired because he has this built-in reason. He lost his star quarterback. He lost his middle linebacker. He has been the coach since I think January, which by my daughter's birthday. So he knew the team he was taking over. McCagnon did the draft, and now let's look at that. You're saying you don't fire a coach mid-season because of stability. You don't get rid of a coach right away because of stability. McCagnon should have been fired if they were going to get rid of him prior to the draft. Why did you have a man who was that part of your plan to pick your future? No, yes, he did pick Quinnen Williams. I think he's a good pick. Last year we got Sam Darnold. I think he was a good pick. But then you fired him in like May. Right by minicamp or whatever it was, and you bring in Joe Douglas. Which, okay, you bring in Joe Douglas mid-season. Why can't you fire a coach mid-season? Now, do I think it would fire up the team? No. I don't think right now it would make a difference. I don't think Sam Darnold playing right now would make a difference either. This offensive line is atrocious. They got beaten like they were Swiss cheese. Sam Darnold would have been, severely injured. Okay? So that just goes to show you, the preparation of this team and the way this team is being handled right now. Now, I can wake up tomorrow morning and they can say Adam Gase is on the chopping block and, Greg Williams is interim coach or Mike McCarthy is going to be head coach. I doubt that'll happen. But at the end of the year, you look at this team, you look at the season from The moment Adam Gase took it over, to the moment the last digits went down on the clock in week 16 or whatever, it's going to probably be week 16, week 17. You know, they're going to week 17 to play 16 games because they're not making the playoffs, obviously, right now, 0-4. I mean, the odds are tremendously against them. But you assess everything. You assess everything. How was he with the backups? Was he able to utilize his backups? Was he able to, work around the backups? Was he able to take pieces of the puzzle and place them? New England, if Tom Brady gets hurt and goes down, they still have a team because the coaching staff will put the pieces in place they need. Now, obviously, having Tom Brady walk across that field is intimidating to any team that plays that. But if Tom Brady's out and they put another player in, I'm sure Bill Belichick has that plan B or plan C. Okay? Just today, I found out Mike Nugent, which was a number one pick for the Jets back in 2005 for Herm Edwards. But this is a guy this is the year after Herm Edwards tried to kick 2 field goals in Heinz Field into the wind and missed in the playoffs. It would have sent them to the AFC Championship game. Mike Nugent said if he was kicking, he has ice water in his veins, he would have won that game. Well, we drafted Mike Nugent in the second round because we didn't have a first round pick. Mike Nugent came out, and the first game ever we played with him was in Kansas City. We got manhandled. He slipped on his first attempt and missed the field goal. Okay, so that's Mike Nugent's career with the Jets. Okay, he is now on the Patriots, and you know what? I said this today. I tweeted my buddies and my cousin. He will probably play in the Super Bowl for the Patriots as a kicker. Probably kick the winning field goal. Okay, but Belichick had 2 kickers. He has Mike Nugent, and he has one on the practice squad. Plan B. So that's where we are. Listen, I don't think changing the quarterback, the coach right now helps. I think when Sam comes in, it gives a little bit more confidence to this team. I mean, Robbie Anderson, I think, had 2 catches today. I think he's had 4 in the last few weeks. It's, just a bad setup. I understand we lost Quincy Enunwa, but he's not a number 1 on most teams. He's number 1 on our team. He needs to be replaced. And to hear that we don't want Bell to go, listen, if they don't want to play for us, we don't want them here. But like I said, I don't think Bell wants to leave. I think it's going to be more of players revolting on the coach, not players revolting on each other. I'm hoping that these leaders, like Le'Veon Bell, like Jamal Adams, excuse me, can get their sides of the ball and the team together. After the games, when I'm at the game, usually, we're meeting players and whatnot afterwards, and I'm listening to SNY being broadcasted. When I'm watching the games at home, when they're away, I watch SNY post game. And they, Bart Scott, who played for the team, and Ray Lucas, who played for the team, are very honest. You can see they like this team. Bart Scott was pointing out who did what, who didn't do what. Demaryius Thomas, the big trade with the Patriots, the first time we ever traded with them since we got rid of Belichick to them. Got hurt, the 4th play of his first game with us. Comes back this week, had a catch or 2. But, on one play, gave up on a ball that went right through his hands. On another play, literally went down not to get hit. And then he said something in the postgame like, well, it'll be better when Sam comes back, because our quarterback right now is limited. Well, what does that mean? You're going to do more for this quarterback has more skills? You should be putting yourself out there all the time. Okay? So that was pointed out. Tremaine Johnson, again, was beat like a rented mule. That was pointed out also on SNY. But Ray Lucas said something to the effect, and I don't know the direct quote, but it was like, whoever said that Adam Gase was an offensive guru needs to be punched in the face. And that is basically how people feel. We were sold a bag of goods. In the beginning, I was against the Gase for hiring. I thought McCarthy was coming. Then I started, like I said, investigating, and I thought, all right, he may work, especially with Greg Williams, and he's worked with Peyton Manning, and he comes endorsed by Peyton Manning, and that really doesn't mean anything. Then I'm looking at, some of the play calling and some of the in-game decisions and the preparation, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'd love stability. I think this team plays a little differently with Sam behind the center, but Sam is not the savior. It's going to take a lot more than that, and you need to have a coach that can handle this. And I don't think Adam Gase is the coach that can handle this. I hope I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong. But I think at the end of this season, it needs to really be addressed. And yes, you look at he's without Sam how many weeks, and he's without CJ how many weeks, and he's without this one how many weeks. But you also look at how they couldn't find a kicker, how they couldn't find a reliable backup, how they couldn't get a true number one receiver, and you assess his whole job. And if we have to move on, we move on, because being subpar and being stable does not work. You need to be successful in this league. There are 12 games left. I'm going to try to enjoy all 12. But, next week the Jets have Dallas coming to town. And then after that they play the Patriots on Monday night. So it doesn't get any easier. So happy Sunday. It's 11:53. It's almost Monday. Week 5 comes to an end tomorrow night. It's 49ers hosting the Browns. And I can't believe it's week 5 already. But that's where we are. This is a little longer than usual. Hope you enjoyed it. www.nyjetstories.com. www.nyjetstories.com. On Twitter @NYJetStories. And on Facebook, NYJetStories is our Facebook page. Check us out. Send us a video. Send us what you think. Tell me what you like about this tweet. I'm going to tweet this out as well. And I'll talk to everybody during the week. My cousin Richie wanted me to do a video on Monday just to compare the way I feel. If I have time, I will. Maybe I'll do it Tuesday. But right now, you can see I'm not mad. I'm upset. I'm disappointed on how this team came out today. And it's mostly on the coaching staff. Good night, guys.